Hey everybody, it's Cami. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. I'm back here every week making videos about the trans experience, and today we're going to talk about Disclosure. If you don't know, Disclosure is a documentary film that was released on Netflix recently that discusses trans representation in media, in movies and television. Um, if you haven't seen it, then I recommend you go watch it. It's very, very good. But I would like to give you my thoughts beyond just it's good, you should see it. Now, since I'm not on social media currently, I didn't hear about this when it first dropped. I'm actually not certain exactly when it did drop. I discovered it because I was doing some research. I wanted to do a video about what it was like growing up in the 90s and seeing the way trans people were represented in movies and on TV. Uh, and I specifically thought about movies like The Crying Game and Ace Ventura. And I was curious what Jim Carrey's thoughts were on the end of that movie. Anyway, so when I did that, I found out about Disclosure, and then I watched it. Um, I watched it during the day. I liked it so much I watched it twice. I watched it during the day, and then I watched it again um, that night with my girlfriend so that she could see it. Um, it does a really good job of not only representing how the media has portrayed trans people over the years, but how it makes trans people feel, which it's not good, you guys. Seeing anyway, I watched them when I watched the movie the second time. I only cried once, so there's that. Um, yeah, watching movies that the climax of the movie had, the revelation that someone is trans, and then people being violently repulsed by that, um, not just assaulting people, but like falling over and puking. And so there were other movies that did the same thing. There was one of the Naked Gun sequels had a riff on climax of the Crying Game. Um, I think about the Crying Game too. Like when I was a kid, I watched it, and it got to the end, and it was like, what's the big deal? Like she has a dick, so what? She's like crazy hot. She's like what does it fucking matter? Um, but putting that through the lens of like the shit that I heard about trans people growing up from my family. I already did a video on childhood trauma. I'm not going to get back into it, but to then see that reinforced in in films, which I was a huge film nerd, um, and TV nerd. And one of the other things that I saw a lot was all the gay panic on Friends, which I never liked that show, but it was bad when it came to that sort of thing, like real bad. Um, Over time, the trans experience has changed quite a bit. Um, that's not really how I meant it, but trans representation has changed quite a bit. And I feel really hopeful for the next generation, for Gen Z, because they're able to see positive representations of trans people the way that I never did growing up in the 90s. And I think that's a good thing. I think I think we're really moving forward as a society from oh my god, she's got a dick, I'm going to hit her and then run in the other room and throw up and not feel bad about it. Or let's expose how terrible this woman is. Look, she's got tucked genitals. Everybody's going to throw up. Let's laugh about that. I'm so glad that's not a thing anymore. Now we live in an era where Netflix can make a documentary putting that on blast about how shitty that is. So, anyway, I'm pretty busy today with the moving and packing, but I did want to still add my voice to the chorus of why disclosure is good. There's a lot about it that articulates the things that I would have said so much better than I am able to do. So yeah, I recommend go watch it. Here's one of the other things that I wanted to say. I didn't take notes this time, obviously. But one of the other things I want to say that's good about it is it works for trans people to watch that and to see okay, these are the things that other trans people saw growing up. They saw the same stupid shit I did, and this is how it made them feel, which is also the way it made me feel. So that's validating. It makes me feel better knowing that things are changing and knowing that other people had similar experiences. Whereas for someone like my girlfriend who's cis, she was able to watch it and see things from a different perspective. She was able to see how trans people were represented, and then see how that made trans people feel and how wrong that is, which obviously she was already a trans ally. She's great, but yeah, so it works really well for multiple reasons. And I think also for cis people who aren't familiar with the trans experience, who don't know anyone who's trans, can watch it and have that conversation to know, okay, this media that I'm consuming is highly problematic, and I see how it's making these people feel, and thus, even though I don't know anyone like that, I'm still able to internalize and understand. Yeah, so this was a quick one. I hope you guys are all staying safe out there. It's gotten pretty scary. The coronavirus is surging in most parts of the country, so I hope you're staying inside, staying safe, wearing a mask, and keeping in touch with your loved ones. If you dig this video, I welcome you to give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel out quite a bit. If you find value in what I do, I welcome you to subscribe. Like I said at the top, I'm back every week with a new video about the trans experience, sometimes 2 weeks, usually every 1 week. Anyway, if you have the money, and only if you have the money, I am still running the GoFundMe to pay for laser hair removal from my face. Every time I do one of these videos, I put $20 of my own money into it. So if you feel like contributing and helping out, you're welcome to do so. Speaking of money, I started a Patreon. The Patreon helps this channel, my other channel, and helps me fund some independent movies that I'm going to start working on. Again, haven't made any of those in a long time. Links for both of those are in the top line of the description. I cannot think of anything else. I'm sure there was something else I was supposed to say here at the end, but it doesn't matter. Stay safe. Talk to your loved ones. Always wear a mask. Bring an umbrella to any of your protests. I'll see you guys next time.